Did you know that Trier is the oldest city in Germany? With multiple UNESCO World Heritage listed sites thanks to its Roman past, this is one of Germany's most fascinating cities to visit. So join me as I show you some of the best attractions to visit in this beautiful city by the border of Luxembourg. Let's go! Well, good morning, fellow travelers. This is Ken from Ken Travels 360, coming to you today from Trier, Germany. Located by the Moselle River, Trier is the oldest city in Germany, established by Emperor Augustus around 16 BC. As a result, there are lots of Roman buildings in the city, many of them still surviving to this date, and are of course now listed by UNESCO as World Heritage Sites. And today, we'll be visiting a few of them. Our first stop is the Porta Nigra, or the Black Gate, which is one of the best preserved Roman gates in the world. The gate dates back to 170 AD, making it over 1,850 years old. Trier itself is Germany's oldest city, founded by the Romans and is full of ancient history. Porta Nigra stands at the entrance of Trier's pedestrian shopping street, Simeonstrasse, making for a perfect first stop on any Trier tour. Right, we're now gonna go in and climb up and see the different levels of the Porta Nigra, and we'll take in the surrounding views of the city, as well as the interior halls, rooms and central atrium. Right, we have got inside Porta Nigra now, so we'll go up and have a look. Porta Nigra was originally constructed of large blocks of light sandstone, but the stones were blackened from centuries of weathering, and that's how it acquired its name in the Middle Ages. It's hard to believe that these stones were put together without mortar. Roman builders used only iron clamps to hold them in place, and yet it still stands. Originally built as a fortified gate to protect the city, it was no longer used for the original function by the early Middle Ages. In the 11th century, a Greek monk called Simeon lived as a hermit in the gate's upper levels, and after his death, Porta Nigra was converted into a church, and it became a place of pilgrimage for Simeon. All these doorways were added during the church conversion. This model shows how it looked like as a church. In the early 19th century, Napoleon dissolved the church and ordered that Porta Nigra be converted back to its Roman form. As we go higher up, we get a sense of Porta Nigra's original Roman purpose as a fortress. The large arches and windows we see today are remnants of the defensive features. Soldiers will have been stationed here to monitor anyone entering or exiting the city. And from the top level, while the views aren't sweeping countryside vista anymore, you get a fantastic look at Trier's historic center from up here. You can even see the towering spires of the cathedral in the distance. From Porta Nigra, we're gonna walk down the pedestrianized Simeonstrasse and stroll through to the Haumarkt, Trier's medieval market square. Right, we're now at the heart of Trier, which is Haumarkt. It means main market, and this is definitely one of the most beautiful places in Trier. The current marketplace was designed in the 10th century after the previous one was ransacked by Vikings. When you are here, look out for the 3-meter cross up here. The original one dates back to 958. This is a replica with the original located in a municipal museum. But here, you also find a fountain, which dates from 1595, and it displays St. Peter's, the patron saint of Trier. And he's surrounded by 4 virtues of justice, strength, temperance, and wisdom, as well as some watchful monster. Next up, we'll be visiting St. Peter's Cathedral, which is also the oldest cathedral in Germany, dating back to at least 270 AD. Historically, the structure has been built and added on throughout the years. The massive outside is a combination of Baroque, Gothic, and Romanesque style over 1,700 years of architecture. To this day, the structure still has Roman bricks built into the central nave. Trier Cathedral is also the home of the Holy Tunic, a robe which is said to have been worn by Jesus before his crucifixion. However, this is rarely exhibited. So we have come to the next UNESCO World Heritage listed site, Constantine Basilica or Aula Palatina. It was built around 310 AD as Constantine's from Rome. At 71 meters long by 36 meters high and 32.6 meters wide, it's the largest single-room Roman structure that is still standing. It was built to express how important the emperor was, and he did the job. After his life as an audience hall for Emperor Constantine, it became a fortress, and it was then used as residence for the medieval bishops of Trier. In the 19th century, it became a Protestant church, and it was rebuilt to its Roman scale at this point. Another rebuilding was necessary after the World War II. Our next stop is the Trier Amphitheatre, which once hosted gladiator games and could hold up to 20,000 spectators. Walking around in the middle of the arena, I could almost imagine the roar of the crowd as gladiator battles unfolded right here. After taking in the scale of the arena, it's time to check out the seating area in the terrace. We will use one of these doors to try to get up there. So as you can see, the seating is now all glassed over, but it wasn't always like this. Before, it actually had stone seating. During the Middle Ages, the stone were completely broken up and reused as construction materials at other locations. And over there, you can see the slopes. That's actually part of the amphitheater, but now it's used as a vineyard. Right, we're gonna check out the underground networks of tunnels now. This underground area is the arena cellar. It was vital during Roman shows, allowing for quick changes of scenery and props. Even today, you see water in the drainage channel, which is still functional after all these centuries. It drains both mountain water and rainwater. Fascinating, isn't it? Behind me, as you can see, is a vomitorium. A lot of people think that's where ancient Romans come to vomit during feasts to make room for more food, but actually it's just a series of entrances or exits in an ancient Roman theatre. After exploring the amphitheatre, we headed up to the Petersburg Plateau. This is actually the top of what was once the terrace of the amphitheatre's stands. They are now covered in grass, and in fact is now a vineyard. After enjoying the panoramic views from the Petersburg Plateau, we made our way to the Imperial Baths. On the way, we passed through the beautiful Palace Garden, a peaceful green space behind the striking Rococo-style Electoral Palace. Well, we have arrived at the next attraction, which is the Imperial Baths, which is one of the largest surviving Roman bath complexes. At the entrance, you will find the colossal feet of Emperor Constantine. The construction of the Imperial Baths began around 300 AD, during a time when Trier became the imperial residence of the Western Roman Empire. This meant that much of what we now know as France, Spain, and Great Britain was governed from right here. With Trier's elevated status came a building boom, and this large bath complex was part of that plan. The construction of the baths came to a halt when Emperor Constantine shifted his political activities eastward. Later, at 360 AD, construction resumed under the rule of Emperor Valentinian, but it was repurposed as a reception hall for ceremonies and parades. The original idea of a functional bathhouse was left behind. Today, only a portion of the baths are still standing, and there are even underground walkways you can explore. There is still an underground area of subterranean tunnels that have been excavated. The whole underground tunnel networks is a bit like a maze. In the Middle Ages, a noble family took up residence here and expanded the main structure into what became known as Adalbert Castle, which is now the most prominent feature visible in the ruins today. But behind me, there is the observation tower, and we're gonna go up there. Right, we're up here on the observation tower now. Yes, you now can see the whole site. It's quite impressive. But behind me, we've got another UNESCO World Heritage listed site, and it's the Roman Bridge. This is one of the oldest bridges in Germany, and many of the pillars that still support this bridge were built in the 2nd century. There's an interesting story about the river here as well. In Roman times, they would often throw a coin into the river as an offering to the goddess Mosella, who once lived there. Even today, experts believe that a good million coins could be lying hidden in the riverbed. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this visit to Trier. We actually visited Trier as part of a longer trip to Luxembourg. If you are interested in Luxembourg, watch this video next, where I show you the highlights of our trip there. See you over there. Ciao!